David's other son, Amnon, raped their sister. So Absalom took matters in his own hand and he killed his brother. So Absalom fled the kingdom. He ran to Gershur, stayed there for 3 years, living away from his father. He was the son of a king. He was royalty. But because of one sin, he found himself separated, cut off from his lineage for 3 years. But then the king, David calls out for him. David sent for him, bring Absalom back to the kingdom. The same way that God reached out to Adam, I know you've got a past, but I cannot stand for us to not have a relationship. And so the father sends for his son, and his son comes home. He's living in Jerusalem now for 2 years. He lived away for 3 years. Now he's been back for 2 more, 5 years. These last 2, he's been in the kingdom, but hear me, he's not been in the palace. There's a difference. Some of you're in the family, and you're in attendance, but you're not in his presence.
Yes.
How can you be so close? Listen, sometimes we misunderstand, because now that he's back in Jerusalem, he lives like a prince. Everyone knows who he is. They recognize him. He has the privileges of the namesake. And so sometimes we see the blessings of God, and we equate the blessings of God must equal a relationship with God. He's been there for 2 years. How can you be that close and you don't even see your own father's face? And so I want to ask you this morning, church, how long has it been? Is this a picture of you?
Yes.
How long has it been since you've seen the face of God? How long has it been since you've been in his presence? My question this morning isn't, I'm not asking, are you blessed? I'm not asking, are you saved? That's not what I'm asking. I know Absalom's the son of the king. I know the relationship thing. I know that he's in the right place. But the problem is you're so close and yet you're so far away. I'm asking you, when's the last time you visited with God? I worry that there's many people who are sadly so close, and this is their story, that they're in the kingdom, but they're not in the palace. They're in the church, but they're not in the presence. I want to share this with you. The Bible tells us about the temple. The temple of Solomon, and even the tabernacle in the wilderness. There were multiple courtyards. There was a fence up, a wall up. There was a partition. If you wanted to get closer to God, you had to enter into that door. But you don't have to stop there. In Solomon's temple, there was the court of the Gentiles. They were closer to God than they've ever been before, and yet they're not in his presence. If they push on a little bit further, they'd come to the court of the women. They're closer than they've ever been. They're closer than the court of the Gentiles. And some of you, you're closer to God than you've ever been. You finally entered into the church. You started coming. You feel like you're headed in the right direction, and maybe you are. But I'm telling you, don't stop there. Then there was the court of the priest. And they were closer to God than anybody. But the problem was, on the other side of the veil was the presence of God. And that's where the high priest would enter in. What I've come to tell you again is because he split that veil from the top to the bottom, you don't have to stop in the outer courtyard. You don't have to stop when you get close to God. You can press on in a little bit further. This is what God's looking for. People that are hungry and desperate to see the presence of God, to have an encounter with him.
Thank you, Lord.
I shared with you this little story last week. If I can get my musicians to come. I shared with you this little story of a boy that came to his daddy and said, "Daddy, how much money do you make?" Angered, he said, "It's none of your business." The boy pressed him a little bit more, and finally he said, "I make $25 an hour if you've got enough." Sent the boy to his room. Feeling bad because the boy asked, well, Daddy, can I borrow $10? Feeling bad because he didn't give it. He comes to him. He gives him the $10. The boy springs up like lightning. Smile on his face. He reaches under his pillow and pulls out rumpled up dollar bills, 15 of them. Adds it with the 10 that his daddy gave him and puts it back in the father's hands and says, can I buy an hour of your time, Daddy? This thing's been running through my mind all week since I said that. I felt it last week at the altar call, and it's been meditating and brewing and stewing in my spirit all week. This is what God is trying to do. I've given you my life. What will it take to buy an hour of your time? I want to tell you about a vision that God gave me years ago. I'm very visual. God gives me visions, and I don't mean like there's some supernatural thing. They're just ordinary, but God speaks volumes in them. But God shared with me this vision years ago. He said, you don't even realize I walk with you all throughout your day. Pay very close attention this morning, because this is going to speak to somebody. He said, everywhere you go, I go. Even the places you wish I didn't, I go. I'll never leave you nor forsake you. And sometimes you're so overwhelmed. You're so stressed out at work, so burdened down, so consumed with life, the problems that you face. He says that I walk beside you and I long for you just to hand it to me, but you're too busy and too consumed to notice me. He says, I offer to you to take my yoke, for it's light and easy. My hands are stretched out. Come to me, all you who are heavy laden, and I'll give you rest. And I see you all throughout the day, weak and worn out, defeated and discouraged, but I know you're busy. You come home, you're so tired, and when you go to bed, God showed me this image. He said, you don't even know I sit down. As you sleep in your bed at night, I sit beside you and I watch you sleep. And I get giddy with excitement as I anticipate your awakening. Maybe then, refreshed from a night of rest, and then we can visit. Oh, how I can't wait for you to wake up and we can visit. But when you wake up, you're in a rush. You have places to go and things to do. I understand, and so I rise with you. And as you rush out the door into your car, I sit in the car with you and I ride with you. So stressed out, so consumed. I look and I wait, and I know how broken you are. So when you come home at night, there I stand by the door. I'm glad because I know the weight that's on your shoulder. So surely now you'll come to me, your hands are full and your shoulders are heavy, and you'll come to me for rest. But once again, you walk right past. You're so distracted, so consumed, so burdened. But I understand. This elaborate vision God gave me, he said. And so then on Sunday morning, oh, how I long for Sunday, the day that you've set aside. I've looked forward to it all week because you've been so busy and so distracted and you've had no time, and I understand. And so this day we've made plans to be together. And I stood at the church doors and I waited for you. You walked in with so many other plans and so many other things on your mind. You walked right past me. So I laid myself at the altar. Because I know after all the things that are going on in your life and the stuff that went on this week, you need this living water. You need this strength. And so I laid myself at the altar. And I waited for the invitation, because surely now you and I can visit. But just like every other week, you stood up You walked out the same way that you came in. I believe today that image, that vision that God gave me is just as relevant to you today as it was to me then. God is pleading with the body. Can I buy a moment of your time? You don't even understand how I love you. You don't even comprehend the depth of my love, and you obviously don't recognize how desperately you need me. I'm the vine and you're the branch. Stand with me all over the house. I want to share with you this scripture in the Song of Solomon as I close. Chapter 5, verse 2. Actually, before that he said, my beloved spoke and said to me, rise up, my love, my fair one, and come away. Come be with me. And in chapter 5, in the Message translation, it says, oh, listen. It's the sound of my lover knocking. He's calling. Let me in, my dear. My dearest friend, my love. My consummate lover. I'm soaked with the dampness of the night, drenched with dew, shivering and cold. I've been here for some time waiting for you to answer. But the response of the bride, I'm in my nightgown. Do you expect me to get dressed? I'm bathed and I'm in bed. Do you want me to get dirty? But my lover wouldn't take no for an answer, and the longer that he knocked, the more excited I became. So eventually I got up to open the door for my lover sweetly and ready to receive him, desiring and expecting as I turned the door handle. But when I opened the door, he was gone. My loved one had tired of waiting and left. I died on the inside. Oh, how I felt so bad. I ran out looking for him, but he was nowhere to be found. I called into the darkness, but no answer. Every head down, every eye closed. We see in this text the image of the bridegroom knocking on the door of his love, knocking on the door of your heart, saying, come away with me. Won't you open the door? Won't you come away with me? Get alone with me for a little while. And the excuses that she offered were petty. I'm tired right now. I've already laid down for the night. Maybe tomorrow. But he was relentless. Hear me this morning. He's knocking on the door of your heart. He has been for some time. Seemingly relentless. And many of us, you're going to wait until it's convenient for you, and you'll open that door and realize that you've missed the moment of your visitation. I'm not saying he's going to stop loving you. I'm telling you, just like the woman with the issue of blood, the moment of her visitation was passing by, and she had to seize it while many others chose to ignore it. All over this house, I want you to come. Find you a spot at this altar today. She's knocking on the door of your heart. When's the last time